Nostalgia. Philosopher Soren Kierkegaard once said that life can only be understood backward, but it must be lived forward. Welcome to Bothanger Reviews. I was doom-scrolling on TikTok one day and saw a hauntingly thought-provoking post from a smaller channel called Distorted Data. Shout out to Distorted Data for being the inspiration to the topic of this week's video for us. It shows an image of Cloud's Buster Sword from Final Fantasy VII, and it proposes that the current obsession with nostalgia and remake culture is easy to understand when you realize that it is a symptom of a culture that isn't allowed to imagine a future. I'm sure many of you are aware and have seen this phenomenon time and time again recently, with things like the countless franchise reboots in movies like Scream, Anything Disney, and Nosferatu. Stranger Things as well kind of being the staple, hey, let's tap into 80s nostalgia series. One of the most recent examples is the Minecraft movie. Nostalgia is everywhere, good or bad. Like for example, I roll my eyes at seeing Elder Scrolls Skyrim being released for like the 1000th time, but I also can't help but praise the new Nosferatu movie. I won't deny that I've partook in this era of nostalgia as well. At the moment, I've been playing through the Final Fantasy VII remakes for the first time. I've really been enjoying most parts of this transformative homage to the original game. Other parts, maybe not so much.
Sorry, Cloud. Just tell me that I made a difference.
I'm sorry, you didn't.
Did Wedge just get killed by the fucking spirits of fate?
Yeah.
Wait, you're serious? He fucking died from that?
He just died?
He died from that.
He just
yes.
died? No.
He's a boss or some shit.
Hold on.
I fucking hated how they spared him, gave him all this extra
You're
shit.
pranking me right now. He just died. For me personally, anything in Final Fantasy gives me a lot of nostalgia, and it acts as escapism for sure. The job market seems to be trash, the future is not in our hands, and every day it seems like one catastrophe after another is arising. With the rise of interconnectivity online and universal know-how of world events, it does fill one with a sense of dread even thinking about the next doomsday scenario. Trust me, I get it. For any generation looking forward, understanding the sheer lack of control we have really is the recipe to look back. I catch a lot of people clinging to a time when we were either A, ignorant and safe in our youthful understanding of the world, or B, genuinely in better, and honestly cheaper, times. And I'm willing to bet you, just like me, have a very clear idea of the most recent thing that's got you feeling nostalgic. So in regard to the topic of this video, is our culture really hardwired in a way where looking forward becomes an impossibility? Is any possible aspect of future thinking truly so disappointing and demoralizing that we simply aren't allowed to even try? I'd imagine that the answer to this existential question would probably be a yes for a strong majority of the population. But we're making huge advances in AI and technology. Great, but how much will that cost? Who's really going to use that? Seems like that will only benefit the top 1%. But we're figuring out de-aging sciences and healthy lifestyles. In a country that capitalizes off of us being indoctrinated into the healthcare system, I really do find it hard to believe that anyone with power to sway or change lifespan in the future will do so without negative consequences. This isn't cynicism either, it's cause and effect. Anyone with logic and reason can see the impact the world state has had on just about anybody. The more you know and understand, the worse it gets. Day in and day out, it seems to be a reminder that the world as we know it might end in minutes. So what future do we have to even strive for? Is it even possible to imagine a happy ending in times like this? If we look at the younger generation's approach to something like the nostalgic Minecraft movie, more often than not, this is an ironic and fake expression of excitement. Overhyping a meme, understanding that it's complete garbage being fed to them through the Hollywood engine, and they're simply lashing out. It's an excuse to wild out their own rage against the machine. To quote the movie Oldboy, laugh and the world laughs with you, weep and you weep alone. In the face of absolute despair, we can essentially cry about it or revel in the absurdity of it with humor. With the many people of the younger generations I've spoken to, this type of behavior is an inevitable response to feeling like the game of life is already rigged from the start, so why try? Who is this person that I'm supposed to want to be in a world that's turned its back on its children long ago, under the guise of being minded for the future of humanity? Snow White, Minecraft, even Space Jam seem like all hollow mockeries of the memories and experiences that seemed so lively from a time back then. It's as if we visited an old park ground we used to play on as a kid, now seeing it as an adult, and we see that the bolts are rusty, the slide can barely keep itself together. What future really is there to look forward to? But I think we were able to see outliers in all this negativity and escapism. Sometimes it's done right. It acknowledges our experiences. Sometimes we play a game or watch a movie that takes us back to those times in a reflective way and allows us to feel gratitude. With this gratitude, we can look forward and see potential for new, exciting experiences. Which then brings me to my own response to the topic of this video. I look around the world today and I see a humanity that is afraid of authenticity. I see a humanity craving true love, care, and validity. I see a humanity that's been roped up and connected to this digital mind, downloading and processing constant streams of dopamine, adrenaline, and ecstasy. And because of this overexposure, they become afraid to be themselves. They think of the mold to fill, the instructed steps to take for a successful life. They have no sense of self and a strong sense of the injustices of the world we have today. I embrace the nostalgia for this humanity. It's completely understandable and valid to want to look back and disconnect from now. Disconnect from the noise and just retreat to little bubbles of safe and enjoyable interest. In the face of the future, as long as we're alive, we walk forward. Looking back from time to time, yes, it's fine. Take pride in the memories you had. Don't ever forget that moments like that are also a part of walking forward. And those potentials of laughter and finding your new favorite obsession, discovering something that excites you and makes life worth living. Don't be afraid to share these things. In a fabricated world with quick fix hyper-consumeristic ideologies, what people at the end of the day crave is you, the real you, underneath it all. It's never embarrassing to have been passionate about something. Art is always subjective, beauty is always in the eye of the beholder, and one man's trash will always be another man's treasure. Perhaps one day we can change the culture of Doomer Future by becoming inspired by the culture of what was. Some of the best games I ever played when I was a kid were made by a small, broke, unheard of group of creators who simply just wanted to make a game that they thought was fun. Sounds awfully similar to some of the great indie games that have come out recently, doesn't it? What I'm trying to say is that nostalgia isn't just about the past, it's something we cultivate and carry forward as we move together in the future. Because, to quote Samwise Gamgee from The Lord of the Rings, it's like in the great stories, Mr. Frodo, the ones that really mattered. Full of darkness and danger they were, and sometimes you didn't want to know the end, because how could the end be happy? How could the world go back to the way it was when so much bad had happened? But in the end, it's only a passing thing, this shadow. Even darkness must pass. A new day will come, and when the sun shines, it will shine out the clearer. Those were the stories that stayed with you, that meant something, even if you were too small to understand why. Thank you for watching. I can't believe we're already on our 7th video now. If you made it to the end of this video, leave a comment, like, and subscribing is greatly appreciated, and I'll see you again next week.